We saw that when using an interface for our module and the binds annotated function, the generated component had no reference to our home module. This is because Dagger was able to piece together the intent of the module and just bake that logic directly into the generated component. What about the codegen would change if we use the provides annotation instead? We'll change the home module to be an object so we can make this like a Java file with static methods. We'll add JVM static to our function, change binds to provides, and now we'll have to explicitly return the home view model value. Run a build and check out the generated home component. We have a new generated class, home_module_bind_viewModelFactory. Looking into it, it's pretty simple. It copied the logic from our home module's bind viewModel method, but we saw in our original generated component that this is unnecessary generated code. Let's take this a step further and make our module a non-abstract class with the non-static provides method. Dagger still doesn't need us to provide an instance of this module when creating our component since it has an empty constructor, but the generated code changes even more. Now, our factory.create method is creating an instance of home module. It's then using that in the generated home module bind viewModelFactory class. Now we have two new objects created that weren't needed when our module was an interface with a binds annotated method. Looking at the AAR generated for our home Gradle module, and then comparing that to the AAR generated when we were using binds and an interface for our module, there's a 2 kilobyte difference just from this one change on this one file that has one method. There's likely some optimization done in the final APK, but we actually aren't including this home Gradle module in our main app yet, so we can't compare. Even having a visible size difference in a debug build for this one change should demonstrate how important understanding how Dagger generates code is. For a large app, this can make an impactful difference in the size of your APK. There are cases where you'll need to use an abstract class or object in Kotlin with static provider methods using the provides annotation. In fact, we'll encounter this when hooking up retrofit. But in general, you should use the binds annotation and interfaces for your Dagger modules whenever possible. It's not only less code for you to write, it leads to less and easier to follow generated code. It is rare that you'll need a Dagger module that has constructor parameters. And actually, I can't think of a valid use case for the apps that I've worked on. If you need to pass a non-injectable dependency to Dagger at runtime, you would use the binds instance annotation in your factory create method, just like we did with the app component factory.